Damian Lillard is a Portland Trailblazer again. No, you're not dreaming. This isn't a farewell ceremony. This isn't a feel-good one-day contract. This is real. Damian Lillard is back in Rip City for real. Just 2 years after being traded, just months after being waived and stretched by the Bucks, Dame is coming home, and not as a memory, but as a player, ready to suit up once again in the city where he became a legend. This isn't just a surprise, it's the wildest twist of the entire NBA offseason, and what it means for Portland, for the Western Conference, and for Dame's legacy might be even bigger than anyone expected. Let's break it all down. Damian Lillard's last 2 years have been a roller coaster. After spending over a decade as the face of the Portland Trailblazers, Dame finally did the unthinkable. He requested a trade, not out of spite, not out of drama, but because he believed his championship window was closing and Portland simply wasn't ready to win now. He landed in Milwaukee, paired with Giannis, a dream combo on paper, Lillard's elite scoring and Giannis's two-way dominance. But things unraveled fast, injuries piled up, chemistry never clicked, and then disaster. Damian Lillard tore his Achilles, a devastating injury for any player, but especially one entering his mid-30s and on a $60 million per year contract. Milwaukee made a brutal decision. They waived and stretched Dame's contract. They would pay him across multiple seasons to make room for another big move. Suddenly, Damian Lillard, one of the greatest guards of his generation, was a free agent, recovering from injury, searching for purpose. Most expected him to chase a ring. Miami, Boston, maybe even Philly or LA. So why Portland? It wasn't the roster, it wasn't the title odds, it was something deeper, something more personal. Dame had always been loyal. He built his career in Rip City. He carried that franchise through the dark times. He led them to the Western Conference Finals. He was their icon, their rock, their hope. Even when he requested a trade, he did it respectfully. He never trashed the organization. He never burned the bridge. And when things in Milwaukee got tough, when he was hurt, alone, away from his kids, he looked back west to Portland, his home, where his family still lives, where his kids go to school, where his heart had never truly left. So when the opportunity opened, he took it. And the Blazers, they welcomed him back with open arms. This wasn't a feel-good charity signing, this was business. Damian Lillard signed a multi-year deal with the Blazers that included two critical elements. A no-trade clause, meaning Portland can't deal him again without his permission. A much smaller salary, reportedly around $40 million over 3 years. Here's what's crazy. The Blazers traded Dame 2 years ago and got a huge package of picks, prospects, and contracts in return. Then Milwaukee paid off his massive contract, and now Portland gets him back on a discount. This isn't just heartwarming. This is front office wizardry. They cashed in the old Dame, and now they got a new one at a bargain. Now let's talk basketball. This is not the same Blazers team that Dame left 2 years ago. Not even close. Portland has quietly built one of the most intriguing young cores in the league. Scoot Henderson, 2023 third overall pick, electric, explosive, showed flashes of stardom late last season. Shaedon Sharpe, one of the best raw scorers under 22. His shot creation and athleticism are scary. Deni Avdija, breakout year last season, versatile defender, smart playmaker. Donovan Clingan, towering center with elite rim protection potential. Yang Hansen, a promising stretch big who can run the floor and shoot. This team is young, fast, and fearless. And Portland's front office hasn't sat still. They traded Anthony Simons, opening up the backcourt for Scoot and Dame. They added Drew Holiday, bringing championship DNA, leadership, and defense. They locked in veteran glue guys who can mentor and stabilize the roster. For the first time in years, the Blazers have balance. Not just a star, not just kids, but both. Here's the plan, and it's brilliant. Year one, development and growth. Dame recovers from injury. Scoot runs the offense. Sharpe gets full-time minutes. Denny expands his role. The goal is to make the play-in tournament and push for a playoff spot. Year 2, Dame is back on the court, fully healthy. With a full year of chemistry, the Blazers now have a battle-tested young core, a healthy, motivated Damian Lillard cap space, and tradable assets. That's when they strike. Target 1 or 2 missing pieces, make a splash move, and suddenly, Portland is no longer rebuilding. They're ready to contend, not as a super team, but as a deep, hungry, versatile squad that plays with purpose. Let's zoom out again. This is one of the most underrated rebuilds in the league. Portland traded Dame, got a haul of assets, and then reacquired him at a massive discount. They avoided long-term financial commitments. They avoided toxic locker room drama, and they kept every door open. Now they have cap space, flexibility, a deep bench, a veteran leader, a young star in Scoot Henderson, a potential second scorer in Sharp, a new era on the rise. If this were happening in Los Angeles or New York, it'd be front page news for a month. Dame didn't come back to chase a ring. He came back to finish what he started. This is a loyalty play, a legacy play. He's choosing to build, not bail, and that matters. In an era where stars hop teams every 2 years, where trades happen faster than ever, Dame's story is different. He left, but he came back. Not for money, not for clout, but because he still believes in the team. And let's be honest, Portland needs this. The franchise hasn't had a clear identity since Dame left. Now they do. And when he walks onto the court next season in front of 19,000 screaming fans in Moda Center, it's going to be special. So, where do the Blazers go from here? Best case scenario, the young guys take the leap. Dame returns to all-star form. The team makes the playoffs, maybe even pulls off an upset. But it's not just about this season, it's about the window. Over the next 18 to 24 months, Portland has flexibility, talent, and time. They don't need to rush. They don't need to overpay. And with the Western Conference shifting rapidly with uncertainty in Golden State, Minnesota, and the Clippers, there's room for a new contender to rise. Will that be Portland? Maybe, maybe not. But for the first time in years, like, the possibility is back. This isn't a title move, it's a story move, a narrative, a redemption arc, a reminder that sometimes the best endings are the ones we don't see coming. Damian Lillard is back in Portland, not to chase glory, but to make one last run, one last impact, one last chapter in the place where it all began. And no matter what happens on the scoreboard, that is already a win.